Okay, guys, let's go back to our part 3 now. Redox chapter part 3 now. I'm giving you another example, which is also an exam question. All right, so this is how we have chlorine on the other side. This is a U tube. And again, I'm telling you, you must always use dilute sulfuric acid. Over here, we have potassium iodide, Ki, potassium iodide, colorless, no color, all right, colorless solution, colorless solution. Still remember what color is chlorine water? Can you still remember or not? What color? Salt chapter. Apa ni? Boleh tak boleh? What color? Yeah, what? Greenish, yellowish, yellowish green. Okay. All right. Yellowish, greenish, depending on the concentration. Sometimes very light yellow, sometimes slightly darker yellowish green. Okay. So this is chlorine water and this is potassium iodide. We have two stuffs here. Now, as I already told you, the first thing you must know is this one is group 17. No? Group 17. Iodine is also group 17, but this is not iodine, this is iodide, which means already became ion, is stable already. So therefore, iodide doesn't need electron. It doesn't want to take any more electron because already stable, already accepted. It's an I minus. This one, chlorine, it's very high affinity towards electron. In other words, it's highly electronegative. I hope you understand, all right? Highly electronegative means what? Daya tarikan yang kuat terhadap elektron. That's what it means. Okay. So, automatically you know already. So, where must the electron move? Moves this way or the other way? Come on, take a look. It must move towards chlorine. Why move towards chlorine? It must move towards chlorine because it is highly electronegative. So, the first step in exam, you tengok saja ini diagram. Once you look at this diagram, you straight away put where the electron moves. That's the first thing you must do. Electrons move towards here. Got it? That means, in other words, this is going to accept electrons. Accept electron means, what process is this? That means this process is going to be a reduction process. In other words, the chlorine water is going to accept 2 electrons to become chloride. Can you see that? Reduction process. Which means the charge from 0 has become -1. Reduction process. Why? Because the charge sudah jatuh, sudah turun, decrease. The oxidation state. But we also learned already, if this is a reduction process, that means the chlorine atom or molecule is the oxidizing agent. Can you see or not? Immediately must write down all these things. These are your key points in exam, which you're going to write it in essay form or something. So therefore, the first thing you explain is what? The chlorine atom accepts electron. It undergoes reduction process. Then write equation. Then explain that the charge from 0, oxidation state from 0 has changed to -1. Then explain chlorine is the oxidizing agent. Then explain the color changes from yellowish green to this one is colorless. Color, how you spell color? Color. Okay, colorless. All right? So how many points have I explained? Accepts electron, therefore it's reduction process, 1 mark. You write equation, you get 1 mark. Then you explain the state of oxidation changed, oxidizing agent, maybe 1 mark. Then you state the color change, maybe 1 mark. I think totally they might give you 3 marks, maybe 1 mark here, 4 marks ready. Are you clear? You got it? Okay, good. Next part. So what happens next part? The next part, over here, somebody has to give electron, but potassium cannot give electron because potassium is a stable stuff. It doesn't react. Potassium ions doesn't react. Okay? So therefore, the iodide ion is the one which is going to give electrons. So if it gives electron, it's oxidized. Oxidation means what? The charge must tambah. So -1, kalau tambah, increase becomes what? It cannot become -2. It has to what? Goes back to 0. Goes back to 0, no charge. So the charge becomes 0. And so it let go electron. But iodine is group 17 also. Any group 17 must always be diatomic. Remember that, diatom. They cannot exist as single atom, must be diatom. So here must be dual item. So here is 2, here also must be 2. That means 2 iodide must give 2 electrons. So therefore we have got our equation. Now again, how do you know where to write the electron? I told you, this is a negative 1, this is 0. Which one is more positive? Which one is more positive? 0 is more positive. 0 is more positive, that's why the electron must be written. Are you clear? So therefore it changes from colorless, what's the color? It changes from colorless, and then here, iodide, what color is iodide? Iodine is a bit special, no? Iodine solid is black. It's dark black purple, but looks black. So if you are talking about iodine only, iodine, let's take side first. Iodine solid is black. If you heat up the iodine, take note, I'm just going out of topic. If you heat up the iodine, it becomes gas, purple gas. Straight away becomes gas purple. But if the iodine solid dissolves in, take note, dissolves in Ki, potassium iodide. That means the iodine which is formed here will quickly dissolve back in the Ki. And so it forms a different color, it forms a brownish color. That's the difference. You got it? All right? So iodine must be very careful. If it's a solid, it's black. But if it dissolves in the Ki, it becomes brown. Got it? So that's why your iodine solution, yellowish brown. That's why your iodine solution, for those who are biology students, the yellowish brown iodine solution, normally we use what? What's the test for iodine? What's the test for iodine? The test for iodine is to use starch. This one Form 3 is to learn really what? You put the iodine on the starch, becomes what? Blue-black, am I right? Dark blue or blue-black. So the blue-black is caused by what? This one, yellowish-brown, which is actually what? Iodine yang sudah larut dalam potassium iodide, already dissolved inside here. Remember, iodine by itself doesn't react. Iodine must become a solution. How to become a solution? Dissolve here, then you pour on the starch. Becomes this. So in case they ask you in an exam, what is formed here, give a test. The test is simple. A little bit, a sample is taken out and tested with starch. You get a blue-black, proving that iodine has been formed. Are you clear? Are you clear? So you must be clear. All right, you got it, huh? Okay. So take note of this. Don't forget. Okay, I'm going to erase this stuff. Let's go here. Let's finish this first. Now next, so you've written the equation. So this is an oxidation process. So why oxidation? Charge sudah tambah, charge has increased. But what is iodide here? So what's happening to iodide? So therefore we say the iodide ion is the reducing agent. Terbalik, oxidation process, reducing agent. So we have discussed about the color. The colorless becomes yellowish brown. Yellowish brown. Equation sudah tulis, already written. What happened? Oxidation process. It's a reducing agent. What else you need to write? Check. What else you need to write? It donated electrons. Finished, huh? Then last part, what we did in the part 2. In the last part, we did the total equation. How to write the total equation? You want to give it a shot? Come on. What's the total equation?